Microphone. Doo, doo, doo. So can you hear me? Hopefully people can hear me. Can you pop in the chat? Hello, no sound. What is up with the sound? So can you hear me? Now I'm speaking back to myself as well, which is bizarre. You can hear me now? Just got sound now. Okay, great. Phew for that. Okay. Pause, play. Okay, we're recording as well. So yes, great. Yeah, I swapped over microphones, so I had a last minute audio glitch. So yeah, lovely to see you all again, and keep popping your name, your location in the chat, and remember, select all panelists and attendees so everyone here can see you and you can chat to each other as well. So yeah, I was sharing, it's been very snowy here today in Scotland, and the snow is sticking now tonight, so we're meant to get more overnight too. So the windows are covered in this white blanket of snow. So yeah, as you're coming in, welcome from Skerries in Dublin, from Italy, Yvonne from Cheshire, Julia from Arizona, snowy day in Cambridge as well, lovely. Lucia from Austria, icy and snowy. Hi Lisa from Portugal, hello Kathleen from Connecticut, lovely to see you here. Who else do we have? Maple City in the USA. Hello, Deirdre. Hello, Sarah. Hi, Marianne. Gorgeous. So yeah, keep popping in your messages. And I feel like I've just been chatting to you all so recently from Wisconsin. Hi, Kathy. Colden, Wisconsin. Helen in the Channel Islands. Margareta from Sweden. I hope I pronounced your name right. Claire from Wales. Hi, Sarah from York. Hi, Mary from Michigan. Very cold and snowy. I bet you've got more snow in Michigan than we do here in Scotland, anyway, where I am. Hello, Elisabetta from Luxembourg. Wow, so we're spanning the globe as always, well, part of the globe anyway. And I know some people couldn't be here live, so hello to people watching the recording as well. So yeah, what we're exploring here is the spiral path of place. So I thought I'd gather people while I was doing this journey. So I've signed up for this writing challenge that I've done over the last few years. It's with a lady, wonderful Irish lady called Megan Macedo. And I just find when I commit to this challenge of writing for 21 weekdays that a lot of magic emerges most of the time in with the other side of why did I sign up for this in this time. So anyway, I thought it would be wonderful to gather people in and to share some of the highlights every week. So it's not just about writing the stories, it's also about speaking and voicing those stories as well. And of course, this is the power of the story. It's how then do some threads or strands of the story resonate with you and where you are on your spiral path as well. So it's lovely to see more people arriving. Hello, Fran. I can see part of your name, Francesca. Spent several years in Edinburgh and Glasgow. Lovely, yes. I'm in the middle in Falkirk. Left a big piece of my heart there. That's gorgeous. I love Scotland. Scotland does that to people for sure. Hi, Renata from Germany. Lovely to have you here. Hello, Karina from Holland. And Joanne from London. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Sharon. Yay, the Irish story. Yes, absolutely. So, yes, the spiral path. Gorgeous question, Joanne. How do you know what your spiral path is? Yeah, that is the question, isn't it? And something I was going to ask for those of you here just now. Hi, Lee from Durham. Hello. What does a spiral mean for you? And how does that resonate for you? So that's something for you to consider, because it's a very unique thing. And also, what kind of spiral is your spiral when we're exploring the spiral? And really, for me, why I wanted to pick this theme is it is very much something that I doodle all the time. This spiral that's in the image for this webinar, it's something I doodle all the time. And it's like this mindful thing of just drawing the spiral, starting in the middle and then making my way out, and maybe a little flick at the end as well. Oh, yes, Jane, you've been drawing spirals since the pandemic. And, I was thinking about that today. I don't know when I started drawing spirals, but maybe when I consciously became aware was maybe when I left corporate and just started doodling, like this mindful process that helps me tap into my own creativity. And the spiral path of place as well, because right now where we are in certain parts of the world, and many of us aren't able to travel or not able to go to the places where you yearn to go to. So while we are exploring that, I wanted to delve into what is place. So what is it, the place within us and the place outside of us as well, and what does that mean for people? So I loved, I got some responses to the email I sent out the other day, exploring how the spiral resonates with you and what kind of spiral is it, and just some high level themes that came through, which I thought was really gorgeous. Was that it's in relation to our Indigenous ancestors and the ancient ones that live beneath us. I really love that. And for someone else, it's about the creation process, from the very germination of the idea to the conception and then manifesting that and bringing that to life, and how that's like an eternal process, really. And someone else shared that it reminds them of hula hoops, where you, like the ring that you have. When I first read it, I was thinking of hula hoops, the crisps that I love to put on my fingers and then eat. And for someone else, it was no matter where you are on the spiral path, that we meet our own self, which I thought was really beautiful. And that it's all about the journey within and stepping onto that journey, and knowing that when we step onto the spiral and walk our path, we're always stepping on in a different and new place. It's like stepping into a flowing river. You can't step into the same part of that flowing river twice, can you? So, I love your messages around the spirals, Francesca. The spiral's been appearing in my consciousness for years, since I was a teenager, in various forms, mostly ascending and in triplets. Yeah. And it's something I feel very connected to, because it's on the stone in Newgrange, the entrance stone in Newgrange, the womb tomb. And when you go inside Newgrange, there's a triple spiral carved on the very back wall, on a stone at the very back as well. It's really, really powerful. Oh, Joanne, you've been having spiral moments since my dad died in June. Wow, that's really powerful, and a gorgeous thing to dive into around that as well. Lee, I always think of the ocean with spirals and how there's so many changes and ways of being. Yeah, there's very much something around the movement of the spiral and the flow of the spiral as well that really resonates. Oh, Jane, someone told you it's a goddess symbol. Gorgeous. There is something that does feel very feminine, and also for me, it can represent, well, the triple spiral: life, death, rebirth, and how we are constantly going through this cycle, like the seasons as well, and Mother Earth. Judy, spirals remind me of early mazes, like the Chartres Cathedral. Have I pronounced that right? Sacred places where you walk into the central and spiral back out again. Yeah, love that. How we are non-linear, absolutely. And maybe that's why more of us are connecting or reconnecting with this symbology as well. Gorgeous. And there's a lovely connection, I feel, with the spiral and also the labyrinth as well, the labyrinth of our lives. Spiral image in your third eye in meditations. Wow, gorgeous. Really beautiful. Yeah, so something to contemplate as well. What is the spiral? What does this mean for you? And also I'm open to, for this writing series as well, that does start tomorrow officially, when I will email out my first piece, which I've still got to write on the spiral. Yeah, email in what kinds of topics would you like me to explore as well. And someone shared earlier that they'd love to hear a story about a past life of mine, which really got me thinking of what could I share there if I dare to go there. So that could be really interesting. And someone else was sharing around how we need to honor our ancestors and really connect with the land and the place where we are, where our feet are, and also where we feel connected to, where our soul feels connected to. Yes, also the connection to galaxies and star matter within us. Yes, gorgeous. How do you know where you're from? Or how to find where your roots lie? Yeah, really powerful questions there, yeah. And something for me, well, a partial answer is reconnecting with my roots in the land where I grew up in Ireland, and also where I am here in Scotland. It's been a big part of my journey on the spiral of reconnecting with these roots and rediscovering more and more the deeper I go. So, shall I share some stories, since this is the live storytelling? And it was, I was going to say it was challenging. It was easy and challenging to decide what stories to share with you, but there seemed to be a bit of a theme in relation to me being a mother, becoming a parent, and the mother, and also the ancestors as well, from where I come from in Ireland. So that seems to be the theme of the stories that I'm going to share with you today. So I've got 3 and maybe a 4th one if we've got time as well. So yeah, sit back and relax. I love that we have 47 people here live in our circle. So just imagining all of us here around the world, joining in and taking our place around the wonderful fire. I've gone a bit mad here lighting my candles behind me, 5 candles. And I realized the way I've arranged them is like the medicine wheel with the pink one in the middle and 4 candles around. So gather around the fire, all of us here and all of you watching this replay, connecting to our roots on the ground and the earth beneath us, and connecting with our breath and the beautiful spiral that is our in-breath, with a little pause, and our out-breath. So let's dive in. So the first story that I'm going to share is called The Great Hunger. So just notice as you're listening to this what aspects of this story might resonate with you. My ancestors lived beside the wild Atlantic Ocean in the southwest of Ireland, and many of them still do. With a staple diet of mainly fish, I always thought we weren't affected by the Irish famine, or an Gorta Mór, as it's called in Irish. The Great Hunger, as it was also known. It happened when the potato crop, the main source of sustenance for the Irish people at the time, failed. So from 1845 onwards, lasting roughly 6 years, many had a choice between starving, emigrating, or getting creative with their food sources. And some of you may resonate with this. So I recently heard a story passed down the generations. My mother told me this story of how my great-great-grandmother, who was called Mary, helped a mother and her 4 children during this time. They called to her house in search of food or some form of sustenance to feed their starving bodies. The great hunger had consumed them, and they were literally skin and bone, their clothes hanging off them. Mary, my great-great-grandmother, gave them food to warm their empty bellies, and they went on their way up the lane and onwards out of Dingle town. And a neighbour found them the next morning, huddled together by the side of the lane. They hadn't gone far before they must have lain down together, the mother protecting her children as they lay, safe now, still and lifeless, in what must have been their final hours. It was a very sad time for the community in Dingle who mourned this family all those years ago. And it was also a very dark time in Ireland's history. And there's a great hunger within me to heal the parts of myself that I don't always know need healing, for myself, for past and future generations. And there's a great hunger within me to take my place in the healing journey of our world. So do you have a great hunger within you that's asking for your attention? What is it? This is the journey around the spiral. So to you and your journey. So I originally wrote that actually the 7th of February last year. So there you go. So that's story number 1. It does feel very different. Not very different, but different, more powerful when you write something down and then share it. So the second story is called True Colours. And I distinctly remember writing this because we were away on holidays. It was this time last year. And we were going off to sleep and I just couldn't get to sleep because these words just kept going around in my mind around this blog. Do you ever just form blogs in your mind? So I had to get up and just type this up on my phone. Joanne, I have a great hunger within me to find out who I am and to make the right choices and be more independent. Yes. Helen, the sound has dipped. I hope it's okay. It's maybe the way I've been sitting back and forward. Francesca, yes, I've got a big hunger inside of me to take my place in the healing journey of the world. Gorgeous. And the sound is okay for you, Jewel. Thank you. Helen, oh, it's okay now. Yeah. I think it might be my voice, how it sometimes goes up and down and soft and strong. Okay, story number 2. This is called True Colours. So my son, he really dislikes when I sing. And I say dislike, he really hates it when I sing. So the moment I even attempt to sing a word or 2 of a song, he's on to me in the form of telling me to be quiet, not in a polite way all the time, and to just stop singing. He gets really annoyed. He's 9 now, just so you know. And on goes our dance with his reaction and my breaking into song at random moments throughout the day. I just can't help it. So last week, which was actually last year when I wrote this blog, I took him to town to get new school shoes. As I drove, I began singing the song True Colours, because songs just eke out like that. I had heard it on the radio that morning and I wanted to be sung right then. It wanted to be sung right then, and I wanted to be sung right then. So my son, immediately alert and with eyes shining, he turned to me in the passenger seat and told me how they'd been learning that very song in school that day. So I asked him to remind me how it went, and amazingly, he began to sing it, which was a miracle. And with a sweet, soulful holiness to his voice, in a tender, shy, almost whisper, he sang the whole song to me. My heart was melting. So how his vibrant, true colours shone through in that moment, so very tenderly and soulfully. It was really beautiful to witness. So your soul knows your song that's waiting to be sung in the full expression of who you truly are in this world. I see your true colours shining through, as sung by Cyndi Lauper. So from me to you and your unique expression of your true colours. Thank you. So I originally wrote that on the 13th of February last year. Thank you. Beautiful, powerfully told. Oh, thank you, Jewel. Okay. How are we doing? Ready for another one? And I was playing that song earlier, actually, True Colours, just to remind myself. Okay. Story number 3. It is such a gorgeous song, isn't it? So this one is about my daughter, who's called Ashlin, daughter number 2. So Ashlin. Ireland has had a troubled history when it comes to her native tongue. Many attempts were made to eradicate the Irish language altogether until English became the dominant language, and still is. Many Irish did what they knew best. They took refuge in the arts, in music, in poetry, in song, in dance. Poets, expressing their deepest desires, personified Ireland as the Aisling, in order to express their dream or vision through the poetic word, because Aisling means a dream or a vision in the Irish language. And also to bring Ireland to life, personifying her in the form of this beautiful, feminine, witchy goddess that she is. And to voice the deep underlying yearning for Ireland to be free once again, to feel and to heal by once again expressing herself in her unique way on her own land, her island. So there's so much depth, heartbreak and power to the Aisling, the dream or the vision, in these forms of the feminine, to feeling at home in your native land. And it's a story that's been repeated over and over around the globe, beyond Ireland, of course. A story of suppression, of power over, that's still very alive, sadly, right now in these times. So we called our second child Ashlin, because I love the resonance and reverence of her name, as well as its depth of meaning. Being the second child, I knew to some degree what to expect when the labour came, and I knew how I wanted to give birth and what I could do to work with my body. I also had more trust in my ability to birth this child my way. So her birth was quick, with minimal fuss, and when she was ready, she took action and literally popped out. So her birth gives much insight into her emerging character, 13 years on. So many speak of birthing a child like being an initiation into something. So I find this something becomes more known to be, more tangible with every year that our children grow up, every moment actually that our children grow up. So I had another insight the other day when I wrote this blog. The way I birthed Ashlin with the help of the dream birthing team of my husband and midwives, the way I just knew, the way I trusted, the way I went with the contractions of my body, the way I listened to my body, the way I breathed into the intense pain, the way I waited, the way I went inwards, inside, until that very moment, the way I stood, bare feet on ground, squatting, so gravity could work its magic. I was literally standing in my raw, primal power as a woman, as a mother, as bringer of life into this world. And she was born anew. The Ashlin, the dream, the vision. It became a reality, and it continues to become a reality. The coding in my DNA is being sparked to life with every step of trust and commitment I take. And our ancestors are cheering us on as they dance with us around this eternal storytelling bonfire. And that is Ashlin, written in June last year. So, I did say this would be 30 minutes. Shall we have one more, just for good luck, before we head off for the evening? While we're on a roll here. Thank you for all your lovely messages. I feel like we're just kind of settling in. Okay, go for it. Yes, let's do it. Oh, Joanne, I resonate because I didn't bond with my mum or dad when I was born. Lots of problems. And your dad didn't have a good childhood either. Wow. That's so powerful, Joanne. And it is the formative years, isn't it? When we birth our children and how we bond and connect. Sure. You're kidding. I thought it was an hour for sure. Well, yeah, you just settling in. Okay, pour another cup of tea. Here's another story, and let's see where we go. So, story number 4. Since we're on the theme of the mother and birthing, this one is called The Mother. So my great-grandmother, Nora, she birthed 12 children. So I don't know what surprised me more about this, the fact that she gave birth to 12 children, or the fact that I only found this out recently. So I just found this out over the last year, my mum told me. 12 children, that's 12 birthing cycles over the course of her lifetime, and 12 magical human creations. So there's a long line of strong, humble women woven throughout our family history who nurtured their role as homekeeper, garden tender, and child raiser, along with many being entrepreneurs and business owners, healers as well. Probably witches too, I'm sure. These women are so humble, in fact, that I've had to do a bit of archaeological excavation work to learn all that there is to learn about them as I piece the story of the greater journey together. So when I dig deeper, the treasures, the artifacts that I uncover gift me a stronger connection to my ancestors, to those who have paved the way for my life today. This stronger connection gives me the utmost appreciation, the inner strength to continue to follow my unique path, to bring balance to all aspects of who I am, and to inspire my children and anyone else who wants to be inspired to do the same. So I do feel like a curious child at times, lifting up the piles of stone, one stone at a time, and the rubble to unearth the clues and the cues from our ancestral past. And I do hope in hundreds of years' time, our family lines will be sharing stories of us now with as much awe, with as much warmth, and as much humility in how we paved the path on which they too will journey. So this creates a great sense of belonging within me. And in a way, I guess, a great sense of solace and encouragement on the paths that we choose to take on the spiral. And Pat McCabe, Woman Stands Shining, said, women must step into the authority of the mother. I just love that quote. Women must step into the authority of the mother. And Pat McCabe says it with so much conviction and power. So the difference this makes to our earth and our world, as you all will know, when we are fully in our authority, in our power, is, of course, transformative. So to you and your whole journey into your authority. Signed, Emer. And I wrote that on the 20th of February last year. So there you go. That's story number 4. So, oh, Jane, you're sharing a homeopathic remedy called a golden spiral. Oh, I'll have to check that out. That sounds gorgeous. Vera, my daughter, was the second one too. She stuck her arm out like Superman when her head was just through. That's amazing. Hopefully not too painful though. Wow. Marianne, beautiful stories. Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. Love your stories. Yeah, so there we have it. Oh, thank you, Julia. Love our time together. I could listen to your stories for the rest of the afternoon. Oh, gorgeous. Well, it's live on YouTube, so within a few minutes it'll be uploaded there to play again. Thank you, everyone. All sons here and wildly different births and natures. Wow, see you at all boys, yeah. Yeah, my third was a boy, which was an interesting birth. He was upside down. An indication to his character as well. So, yeah, if you've got anything that you feel you'd like me to write about or explore, then pop it in the chat, send me an email. The series starts tomorrow, so you'll receive an email in your inbox if you want to receive daily emails from me. Now, I haven't written it yet, so I may feel inspired tonight or first thing in the morning, so I don't know exactly what time I'll send the first email. But all future emails, hopefully, first thing in the morning. And what else? Yeah, come back here next Monday, same time for roughly 30 minutes, maybe longer if we've got more to share, for more storytelling. And it's just a chance to settle in, have a bit of fun, and receive some healing magic as well. Who knows where the spiral path will take us, to this place within us and outside of us. Oh, let me see. I would love a story about your take on Bridget and her attributes. Oh, yes, yeah. And maybe you saw my webinar last week, Francesca. I could put that in the follow-up email where I wrote a story on Bridget. But yeah, I feel there's more to come. Snakes curl in a spiral, the Kundalini energy. Yes, absolutely. I had a dream about that a while ago as well. Maybe that's another one to write about. It was like the snakes and they were rising up, and it was like a snake made out of a tree of life. It was really powerful. Ditto. Thank you so much. Yeah. Magical web you're weaving. Oh, thank you for being part of the magical web, Jewel. I'd love a story about finding out who your ancestors are. Yes. Okay. Let's add that in. Thank you so much for the gorgeous community. Yes, I'm sure more inspiration will come. Yeah, especially around the new moon. Totally. Stories on past lives as witches. Yes. Ooh, I think we have to go there. Yeah. And there's certain images that I see that I imagine were past life connected. Wow, isn't that amazing? Your step granddaughter is born on your grandmother's birthday and your stepson born on your maternal grandmother's day. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, coincidence. And as Lindsay Pera from the Mystic Society, who the spiral is their symbol, says there are no coincidences. You know, it's just the way it is, isn't it? The web. How do you discover your inner witch? Oh, yes. So many wonderful stories and topics. Yes. So much magic. Gorgeous. Well, thank you all. It's been wonderful sharing this space with you. It was a little over the half hour, not quite the full hour. Oh, and I see you can chat on YouTube as well. That's really cool. Hello, Freebird, the Hearth Witch. Lovely to see you in the chat on YouTube. Gosh, I feel like top tech person here, flicking between Zoom and YouTube. Sing away. Yes, I will sing away. And I still do, but it still drives my son mad. So yes, thank you everyone, and see you all again soon on the next wonderful storytelling time. And I'll put a link in the YouTube as well if you want to sign up to receive the daily emails, because my link has just disappeared now. So, oh, you're just turning up now on time for the next story. Have you just arrived? Hello, you can catch the recording. I'll be sending it out soon. Okay, so the long Irish goodbye. Maybe that's something else to explore on the spiral. Have a beautiful week, everyone, and see you all again soon. Wonderful. And thank you, everyone that's been on live.